There's something undeniably strange about the cultural minefield we live in today. Fame used to be a ladder you climbed, rung by rung. Talent, luck, hard work, and maybe a few breaks along the way. Now, you can wake up famous because someone else pulled you into the spotlight, or ride the wave of a cultural phenomenon built by someone you later denounce. And sometimes, just sometimes, the real tragedy lies in an actor, an actual artist, simply wanting to end their long, illustrious career with one last great performance, only to get swept into a maelstrom of outrage manufactured more by mob justice than by merit. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Damon, and today we're diving headfirst into the hypocrisy of a world where John Lithgow, a veteran actor with a decade-spanning career and an actual respect for the craft, becomes a punching bag simply for accepting a role. That's right, he's joined the new Harry Potter HBO series as Albus Dumbledore, and apparently that's a controversial act now. Because J.K. Rowling has said things that people don't like, despite the books, the world, and the stories being enjoyed by millions long before any of those hot takes ever emerged on Twitter. Let's just address the obvious. Lithgow isn't some wide-eyed ingenue chasing fame. He's 79, has done everything from Shakespeare to sitcoms, and has more awards on his shelf than most of his critics have functioning brain cells. He's not signing up for a cash grab. He openly said this may be his final major role, an 8-year commitment to a world that has captivated generations. And yet, instead of celebration, he's handed a guilt trip. A friend sends him an open letter urging him to walk away. Critics are already sharpening their pitchforks before a single frame has been filmed. Not because of anything he said, not because of the role, but because of the woman who created the universe decades ago, a woman he hasn't even met yet. Let that sink in. He played Roald Dahl, a man with a confirmed track record of anti-Semitic views. And there was no fuss, no viral hashtags, no open letters. But Rowling, suddenly Lithgow's very presence is a problem. Why? Because the mob has decided her comments are beyond redemption, despite being more nuanced than the mob's outrage machine allows for. Never mind the literary legacy, the millions of children inspired by her work, or the LGBTQ plus fans who grew up loving those stories. None of that matters once the social media guillotine drops, and that's the real hypocrisy, outrage by proxy. What makes this all the more ridiculous is that Lithgow himself isn't taking a side in any culture war. He's not out here waving flags or giving inflammatory interviews. He's simply doing what he's done for decades, acting, bringing life to a role, serving a story. And yet, even that is now seen as an act of aggression, because in this climate, neutrality isn't allowed. Silence is violence, they scream, until it's someone they admire caught in the crossfire. And then suddenly it's all nuance and context. And honestly, I've followed Lithgow's work since Third Rock from the Sun. I watched him turn a goofy sitcom alien into something iconic. Then he chilled me to the bone as the Trinity Killer in Dexter, reminding everyone that beneath the charm, he has real dramatic weight. He's the sort of actor who transcends genres, who seems to genuinely love the work, not the attention, not the awards, not the virtue points, just the work. That kind of dedication is rare now, where most actors are too busy telling us who to vote for or what causes we must align with, lest we be on the wrong side of history. Lithgow's refreshing because he represents the dying breed of performers who still think storytelling matters more than tribal loyalty. And isn't it telling that someone with his body of work, his pedigree, still had to consider whether a role might ruin his reputation, not because of what the character does, but because of who wrote the book? What an indictment of our times. So let's just cut through the nonsense, shall we? If you're more upset about an actor playing Dumbledore than you ever were about any studio cutting corners, rewriting canon, or stuffing agendas into scripts, then maybe, just maybe, you're the problem. Maybe you've confused moral superiority with cultural vandalism. Maybe you've forgotten what acting is supposed to be. Or maybe deep down, you just can't handle the idea that, well, the world doesn't revolve around your feelings. Because at the end of the day, John Lithgow has absolutely earned the right to choose how he signs off his career. And if his final act is to bring gravitas, warmth and complexity to a character loved by millions, then I say more power to him. And if that offends you, well, you can always stick to scrolling TikTok for your life lessons. And with that, I'm done. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where, naturally, I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.